Eric Mwathe, Mwathe.com, with another look and an update for NVAX. Let's begin by taking a look at the weekly, which we can see here as we had discussed. Actually, it was your observation that if we take the line connecting the lows and extend it, it's gonna come to somewhere around there. And it makes a lot of sense because you can see it connects the lows during this period when the stock was trending higher, and then it became like a resistance line around this period, which was here, and again here, which was here. And ever since we moved above that resistance line, we can see that the market has actually been trading well. Ever since that move above that line, it became support, which was support there. Obviously, we can see that if this can become support, that's going to be a good stabilizing effect on the stock after a pullback. So this needs to hold, and that's something we've been watching. And as long as the stock is holding above that, you have to give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, that's one way to look at this. I'll show you another way of looking at this from the recent breakout perspective, and it is this breakout here. And that was this breakout right there, was this move around there, which was also a price breakout there. Now if we take this, so that point, draw a simple straight line like that, you can see that this is also saying that this is another reason why the stock needs to hold at that line, because those two lines are intersecting exactly where the stock is trading right now. So that needs to hold on the weekly. Now let's take a look at the BTK, because as I have been saying, the stock is going to behave I guess as well or relative to how the biotech space is going to hold. Now we had been watching the biotech space, and we also know, and this is just a reminder, that we've been watching this for support because of this very simple support line. And once this has held, then that's a reason to continue holding biotech, and it's also a reason to continue holding NVAX. Take a look at this support here, very good for the biotech space, around the 50-day moving average. So that gives us a reason to continue believing that NVAX has a chance of bouncing. Now if you take a look at the daily for NVAX, you can see that there's this line here that it needs to be above this line right there. This is the most recent break point, which brought it down during this plunge. So it needs to recapture that blue line for it to be back in good momentum play. So that's one view. Another view is this perfect low, and since then we've seen the stock bounce to new highs. So we can also see that if we take this RSI entry level there, and you can also draw it like that, that we can generate a simple line, which is something like that. So using this, we can see that this was the perfect entry that began this nice move, and it's come here. We've seen uniform activity, which is good, and we've also seen now it seems to be holding above that green line. So day to day, also as we have observed with the biotech index itself, this looks like a good area where the stock is stabilizing. Now as of yesterday, and the reason for this video is I was trying to explain to you, when the stock was moving higher yesterday, it had come back to a level of resistance, and it is actually very simple, because this recent break on the hourly there was responsible for this drop there. So just draw a simple straight line, and previously we had observed that it came here with uniform activity above that line and back below it, which gave you a short-term high. And now as of yesterday's move, I was saying that move seems to have run into resistance, and this is exactly the resistance I was talking about. And since then, it's pulled back slightly. The one thing I also want to note here, just for the sake of understanding where the stock wants to go short term, there seems to be a wedge. If you take the tops of the hourly highs and the bottoms on the price on the hourly again, you can see that there is a wedge. And clearly, in my opinion, if we move outside above the wedge with a push like that, that's going to be bullish. Otherwise, if we break below that wedge, it's going to be setting up for a move lower. So the stock is right now sideways as it tries to conclude its movement outside of this well-defined wedge. Otherwise, for the stock to do well, it needs to be trading above this blue line where it has been finding resistance ever since this break there. In conclusion, earlier, about an hour or so ago, about 45 minutes ago, I sent you a text message when the Dow was trading up about 96 points. The Dow was up about 96 points early on in the day, the first 30 minutes or so. And as of right now, if we take a look at the Dow, just give me a second here, you can see that the Dow is now down 7 points over the last 45 minutes since I sent you that text telling you that I thought the market was due for a pullback intraday. And the reason why is because the market had come back to this declining line of resistance over the last hour here. So when the market was on rally mode, my thinking was that the hourly was also indicating potential for resistance, and this resistance can also be seen, it also ties down to the resistance we see in NVAX, which is this break point recently on the Dow, which was during this high and a pullback. If we draw a simple line just like we did for NVAX, we can see that the market has come here just like it did for NVAX and pull back, and over the last hour when it was up 100 points or so, and I was suspecting that was resistance, is because it came back and hit that level which was here, and since then we seem to be pulling back. So the hourlies are right now becoming a problem for both NVAX and the general markets. Eric Mwathe, good luck, peace and blessings. Woo! Yeah.